Hello and welcome to Big Deal. I am Nisha Poddar. Now today we are going to focus in this era of digital revolution on the digital currency and how it's picking up pace. Now Reserve Bank of India has also introduced the concept of CBDC or central bank digital currency. So will it be a game changer, and what will be the impact on the transactions as well as capital management by all participants in the economy? Let's find out from our expert panelists today. Let me welcome on the show Cyril Shroff, the managing partner at Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, and Neeraj Gambhir, the group executive at Axis Bank. Gentlemen, welcome to CNBC TV 18. Neeraj, let me begin by asking you, as a banker, what do you think? Is the digital currency, while at a nascent stage world over right now, likely to become the currency of the future?
So over the last about 4,000 or 5,000 years, we've seen money change several forms. We started with, animal hides, cowrie shells, moved into metals, commodities, and then paper money. I think digital currency is the next phase. This is how exactly Reserve Bank has described it, that as everything else is becoming digital, money is also becoming digital. So CBDCs could potentially be the next form of money as we know it.
All right, that's a big statement coming in. Cyril Shroff, do you agree with, concur with what Neeraj said? And what are the highlights of the RBI's concept note and the way they have designed it?
I would certainly agree with Neeraj that this is the next phase of evolution, just as everything is becoming digital.
Yes.
That a digital currency is probably the next step. I'm not so sure whether it will, like in the case of prior evolutions of money, substitute whatever was the then status quo or not. We are more likely to see kind of coexistence of the digital currency versus the kind of prevalent paper money and others. But that only time will tell. So where we are today is that the RBI has put out a concept paper after the working group was constituted about 2 years ago. And the concept paper has been put out in order to prepare the thinking of the market. RBI has announced in the report itself that they're going to be running a few pilots, and that they are going to, this paper is put out so that the market can start getting familiar with the whole idea of a digital currency. And it's a brilliantly written paper, and I think it puts out what are its key motivations, some of the design choices that have been made, and why they have been made. The purpose that has been set out in terms of the motivations, they've set out 6 motivations, which include cost reduction, cashless economy, ease of cross-border remittances, financial inclusion, and last, I'm not sure that is necessarily the last, is that it is an alternative to crypto, or at least to provide a kind of another way of thinking instead of the private currency or the crypto assets that are kind of so topical, but will come with their risk. So that's the broad where we are today. That nothing has been introduced here as yet. It's just a concept paper, but I'm pretty sure it will result, after legal changes are made, it will result in a new idea.
So Cyril Shroff, do you think that it is an regulated and government's answer to the rise of private crypto?
Certainly one of the reasons is that, but I think it has a standalone reason as well.
Yes.
For all the other reasons that we mentioned, because it's just a digital version of a fiat currency.
Right. So taking forward this discussion, of course, Neeraj, we know that the digital currency will have the sovereign backing, but banks will still be the intermediaries for servicing the CBDCs. That's the kind of concept and design that has been laid out by our central bank. What does this mean for the banking system, and how do you think the different approach between wholesale and retail banking under CBDC will work?
So I think much of the detail is yet to be seen, because conceptually they are saying that there will be intermediaries involved in the issuance and distribution of CBDC, even though central bank is the one who's going to be issuing it. My guess is that it could potentially take some kind of a wallet format where you're currently using wallets for commercial bank money, you're eventually going to be using wallets for central bank money as well. I do envisage a situation where once this is introduced and banks are the ones who are actually doing the account opening, because it's envisaged to be an account-based, CBDC. Banks are the ones who are doing the KYC, AML, account opening, ensuring that the wallets are given, and effectively those are the wallets which are being used. Maybe integrating those wallets into the existing applications that we have, the mobile apps that we have, so that CBDC becomes another way for you to actually make the payments, just as you do it with IMPS and UPI, for example, currently. On the wholesale side, I think the way the design is thought about is slightly different. It is basically supposed to be a direct sort of holdings through the Reserve Bank, and wholesale side could actually be more used for interbank payments and settlements between the corporates. One impact that we still need to see, and I think this will depend upon how the design is done, how it's rolled out, is that whether wholesale CBDC will have any impact on the current account balances. I think that the paper does talk about that we need to be mindful of the impact of this on the current account balances, because current account balances, if you know, are currently also unremunerated. No interest is paid on current account balances,
Yes.
and effectively works like a zero payment sort of account. So CBDC will be also something similar. So we need to see whether in wholesale space there is going to be a competition between the CBDC and the current account facilities that the banks give.
Right.
Like I said, much of the detail is yet to be seen.
Sure.
These are the broad concepts that are being talked about in the concept paper.
Right. So, Neeraj, one important question will be, how much will be the push by the banking system? What is in it for the banking system as far as benefit is concerned, apart from just being a service provider, to really push it so that the adoption is much faster? Because once the money is converted into CBDC, it doesn't account for your deposits. And on the other hand, you can't use it as a raw material for your business, while the deposit holder also does not get any interest out of the CBDC holding. So how prevalent do you think it will be without these kind of benefits to the banking system and to the customers?
Be mindful of. First of all, CBDC is being envisaged as an replacement, or rather something similar to the physical cash currency that you hold.
Yes.
It is not supposed to be a replacement of your bank account, right? And as far as the physical cash currency is concerned, there is a lot of involvement of the banking system in terms of distribution, currency chest management, ATM management, etc., and all of these things actually cost money for the banking system. So if we can actually move the retail users to using digital currency, then the system as a whole benefits, the banking system as a whole benefits, because those costs can potentially come down quite a lot.
Right.
The second aspect of this is that from a user perspective, from a retail investor perspective, they're basically now, instead of holding money in their wallets, they're going to probably be holding money in a form of an app into their mobile phones. So the convenience value actually increases. And CBDC, like any physical currency, is effectively a central bank liability. So effectively, there is no, credit risk that you take of a bank, or, the risk that if tomorrow, if the bank was not there, what will happen to your money? It is being envisaged that the retail CBDC, and I think wholesale as well, is going to be non-interest bearing instrument. Pretty
Yes.
much like the cash that you carry with today.
Yes.
So in that sense, there is not going to be a material difference between the cash that you carry in your wallet or your
Yes.
purse
Yes.
and the CBDC that is being thought through. So I think these are some of the aspects which will actually have a determination. I don't think RBI is thinking of a push in that sense. The idea is that you give customers an option.
Yes.
Those who want to use a digital form of cash
Yes, got
have
it,
this
Neeraj.
option and can then use it.
Yes. So it's an option. Let me delve deeper into that after a very short break. Cyril Shroff, Neeraj Kampir, hold on to your thoughts on this very interesting discussion on understanding the digital currency of the future. Stay tuned to Big Deal.